Okay, so there are actually two of us here today that will be presenting. Right now, my name is Mesa. I'm really happy to meet everyone that is here today. I'm the award advisor at WSOS, and I've been working with the awards team to create the Career and Technical Scholarship this year.
Hi everyone, my name's Eileen Tubo. I'm the awards manager, specifically managing the baccalaureate scholarship, which you all know as the WSOS scholarship. So today we're really gonna expand that into two scholarships to refer to as the WSOS scholarship.
So today we really have three main goals that we would like to accomplish with this training. First, we'll provide everyone an overview of each scholarship program that WSOS currently offers so that you hopefully feel more comfortable in your understanding of the scholarships. Then we will explain and show the online application for both scholarships. And finally, we really just want to make sure you have the tools you need so that you can successfully assist applicants in submitting their eligible applications during this January 2020 application cycle.
So our mission as WSOS is to build pathways into high-demand Washington careers for Washington students, and we do this through ways of scholarships. And so, like I mentioned earlier, many of you refer to WSOS or Washington State Opportunity Scholarship, which historically has been the baccalaureate scholarship. It's not up until this year where we've had two scholarships. Actually 2019, where we had two scholarships. So we now have the baccalaureate scholarship and the career and technical scholarship. So these are the ways in which we do support the pathways to the high demand careers in Washington. So beginning with the baccalaureate scholarship, here's a quick overview. The credential that students who are applying for this scholarship should be a bachelor's degree. The award is up to $22,500 for up to 5 years. And the scholarship can be used for tuition, fees, housing, transportation, and essentially anything relating to the full cost of attendance. The industries that we do fund are high demand STEM and healthcare careers. And so there's over 150 majors on our eligible list that will be that are eligible for students to pursue. This year, which is the biggest difference from previous years, we are selecting 750 students this year, which is a dramatic change, which I'm sure some of you it's first time, or some of you might have heard this already, but essentially this has been the model that we have been operating on, but thankfully thanks to a donor that we've had in the past, we were able to double that in previous years. However, this year we are going back to our regular model, our actual model for funding 750 students annually. There are over 64 colleges and universities in Washington State that this scholarship could be used for. And the application is open now until February 6, 2020. And that's another huge change that I want to make note of this year, is that the scholarship is only open for 1 month.
Okay, and then we have the Career and Technical Scholarship, which you will commonly hear referred to as CTS. And CTS funds students enrolled in eligible trade, STEM, and healthcare apprenticeship, certificate, and associate programs. The list of eligible programs, just like the baccalaureate programs, can be found on the WSOS website, and we'll actually talk about where those lists can be found a little bit later in this presentation. CTS can be used at any of the 34 community and technical colleges across the state of Washington. And the way we talk about the award amount is a little different from how we talk about the baccalaureate scholarship award, because there's so much variation in the program lengths for the programs that are supported. So CTS applicants should know that the award amount is $1,500 per quarter for the duration of that scholars program. And then just like the baccalaureate scholarship, funding can be used for direct and indirect costs up to the cost of attendance. So again, that means it can be used for more than just tuition. And WSOS will select at least 550 new scholars each year to receive CTS. It's important to note that each year there are actually 3 application cycles for CTS. We do it on a quarterly basis. So during this spring application cycle, which will open on Monday, January 13th, we will be selecting 110 scholars. And then finally, again, I want to reiterate that the CTS application is not open just yet. It will be open on January 13th, and it is for students that will be enrolled in college courses this spring quarter. So if you're working with current high school seniors that are graduating in this academic year, they actually should not apply during this current application cycle, but should instead apply during the next application cycle, which will be opening this summer.
So here are some key dates that, that we want to point out specifically to this application cycle. So for both, for the baccalaureate, the application is open now, and for CTS, it will be open next Monday, January 13th. Both applications do close on February 6th at 11:59 p.m. Both scholarships will require transcripts and GED scores. So specifically for baccalaureate, we want those postmarked by February 10th. For CTS, we want those postmarked by February 6th. Also, another requirement of the application is that the student submit their FAFSA or WASFA, and the due date for the baccalaureate is February 10th, 2020, and it just has to be completed by then. And then for the CTS, it should be by February 6th, 2020. And then for selection notification, when students will be notified whether they have received the scholarship or not, for the baccalaureate, they will be notified March 19th, 2020, and for CTS, scholarship applicants would be notified by March 12th, 2020.
Now I'm going to run through all of the eligibility criteria for potential applicants. I know this is a lot of information on one slide, I'm going to go through it pretty quickly, so I want to make sure everyone knows this information can be found on our website at any time if you need to reference it or look back, or if a student is uncertain. But for now, we'll just do a quick overview. Most of the eligibility criteria for the baccalaureate scholarship and the career and technical scholarship are the same. These overlapping criteria include students must be a Washington State resident, and students must have graduated from a Washington State high school or earned their alternative high school credential from a Washington State institution. Again, like Eileen just said, students must file the relevant year's FAFSA or WASFA. Their total family income cannot exceed 125% of the Washington State MFI, and students cannot yet have earned a bachelor's degree. Then you can see on this chart some of the eligibility criteria that differ. Our CTS applicants are expected to be enrolled in their program within the first term of receiving funding. If they're in a course that requires prerequisite work, they must be actively making progress on that prereq work, whereas baccalaureate applicants do not actually have to be in their major yet, though they do have to state their intent to be enrolled in an eligible program. Baccalaureate applicants must have a cumulative GPA of 2.75 or a passing GED score, whereas there is no GPA requirements for CTS applicants. And finally, baccalaureate applicants must be high school graduates, college freshmen, or college sophomores. If they've achieved more than a sophomore level standing in college, they are no longer eligible to apply. This is different for CTS applicants who can have any amount of prior college experience so long as they meet the initial eligibility criteria discussed, which was no previous bachelor's degree earned.
We have a question. So someone had asked, is the baccalaureate scholarship application that is currently open for the 2020-21 school year? And yes, it is for the upcoming school year. Thank you for asking that. Do you have anything else? Go ahead. So the application requirements for both baccalaureate and CTS, beginning with baccalaureate, they do have to submit an online application, which has 3 parts, essentially an academic information where they will be letting us know what their current standing is as a student, and also where they will be planning on attending in fall 2020, as well as the major that they are intending to pursue. Financial information, which generally is the FAFSA or WASFA information that they'll be transferring over to our application. And there are 2 short essays that students have to answer. Also, students must mail us an official transcript or a GED score report. Again, that's by February 10th, postmarked by February 10th. And students must submit their 2020-21 FAFSA or WASFA application by February 10th as well. For CTS, the requirements to have an eligible application is an online application completing all 3 sections. That's the academic information, financial information, and personal information. The personal information is what is equivalent to the essays to the baccalaureate, just to kind of give you guys an idea of what that section is. Official transcript and unofficial transcript, or no transcript, must that really differs depending on the student applying. And Lisa, do you mind kind of giving a quick overview? Or actually, there is a flow chart.
Yeah, I would say for each applicant, it's going to be, we want to make sure that each applicant is really confident in knowing what it is that is required of them or not required of them in terms of the transcript. So rather than trying to go too in depth or like locking in the details of like what the qualifications are for each student, I would really strongly encourage everyone to take a look at the flow chart that's on the website and direct students to it as well so that they can follow it through. And then if you're working with a student and you followed the flow chart and you're still uncertain, you can always reach out to us and we're happy to let you know what the qualification is for that specific student. And we'll discuss where that chart can be found in a little bit.
And then lastly, CTS applicants for spring should be submitting the 2019-2020 FAFSA or WASFA. Again, I want to emphasize that's 2019-2020 FAFSA or WASFA because it is for the current academic year. And that must be submitted by February 6, 2020. We do have a question that someone had asked. Do students need to apply each quarter for the CTE program or just once?
They just need to apply once. Once a student is admitted into the Career and Technical Scholarship, they'll get their funding for the duration of their program. They don't need to reapply. We just have the application cycle open quarterly because we know new students are starting at community and technical colleges throughout the academic year. So we don't want to close off any windows for students that might not be following such a traditional academic pathway plan. Okay, so we are going to take a look at the applications now. You'll see here there are 2 screenshots of the home pages for the applications. There are 2 different applications for the baccalaureate scholarship and the career and technical scholarship. However, as you'll notice, the way they are formatted and the way users access them is very similar. So you can see on the screen right now, there are login pages where new applicants will need to click the sign up button to create an account. And I want to make note that the career and technical scholarship applicants are actually welcome to reapply if they applied during a previous CTS application cycle that year and weren't selected. So if a CTS student is reapplying, they can log in with the same email address and password that they used previously. The answers that they had previously submitted will not be in this application, but actually they can be accessed if the student wants to reference that for reference what they had previously submitted. And then also just to note, the logos are at the top of the application. So just in case, students should be making sure that they're looking at the top of the application to make sure that they are about to fill out the correct one. It's going to come up multiple times in the application. There's minimal risk, but never hurts to double check. So then once applicants sign in, they will be brought to the first page where they'll be directed to complete a profile. Most of the questions in the profile are designed to help applicants make sure they meet the eligibility requirements before they complete the rest of the application. So if you have students that are hesitant to apply, aren't sure if this is for them, don't want to invest the time in the application yet, really encourage them to at least complete this profile section, as this will help them also know and feel confident that they are eligible. The profile is also going to be the spot where they tell us their contact information. It's really important that applicants are double checking their work and making sure they do not have any typos in their submission, because this is the information that we will use to get a hold of them if they are selected.
So we have a question from someone asking, when does the CTS scholarship open up in the summer for a student who is looking to start the program in fall 2020?
So we do not have the date solidified just yet. We want to get our spring application opened before we confirm that, but it will be in the summertime. It will definitely be open in May, so look around April, May timing, and we'll be sure to send out notifications to people that are interested. That information will be up on the website, but plan for May. So this is a screenshot of what it looks like once students are in the application and have completed their profile. This is the final step where they can complete the online application process. So to do so, they'll start by clicking the Get Started button, and once they click that button, they will be able to see the 4 sections of the application, which are here visible to you now. First, this is again just an outline of what Eileen went over with us. This first section is the academic information, which will ask about their academic history and their plans. Then financial information, in which the information they will provide will be the same as what's in their FAFSA or WASFA. So we actually really encourage students to complete their FAFSA or WASFA prior to applying so that they can just easily copy that information over. Next is section 3, the personal information section, which is actually the section that varies the most between the 2 scholarships. For the baccalaureate scholarship, applicants will be asked to write 2 short essays. The essays are designed to help us understand their interest in a STEM or healthcare major and their ability to navigate challenges. In the CTS application, applicants will be required to answer 3 short answer questions that are designed to help us learn more about the applicant outside of their academic history. In this section, we really want to know more about each applicant's life experience and, again, their ability to navigate challenges. And then finally, we have the agreement section, where it is important to note if an applicant is under 18 years old, they will need a parent or guardian present to help them sign the form.
One thing I just want to highlight about the application, to make sure that the student is applying for the right one, we did try to make sure that we've labeled the this application portal correctly. So if it is a baccalaureate scholarship that they're applying for, make sure that they do have that heading up top. If it's the CTS, make sure that it is that heading up top. So I just want to point that out. We just anticipate a lot of confusion that students might come across when they're applying, because again, both application portals are accessed very similarly.
And then also, once students complete all 4 of the sections, they will want to, that submit button at the bottom will turn green, as you can see in the career and technical screenshot here. They'll want to make sure they click that submit button.
So we have prepared scholarship toolkits for you as our partners, and also for our applicants, to make sure that you guys have the resources that you need to really navigate the scholarship application, as well as provide folks information that they need to successfully promote the scholarship at the schools that you're in, the organizations you represent, and the communities that you are living in. So I am going to go ahead and navigate away from the PowerPoint and show you guys the scholarship toolkits that's available on our website. So I'm gonna stop sharing the screen real quick. So can we do another raising hands again if you can see the promotional toolkit on the screen? Perfect, thank you guys. So let me actually go back to the home page just so I can show you guys how to navigate our website. So if you are going to wopportunityscholarship.org, you will find here under for partners, this is where the partner promotional toolkit will live. So here is where you can find all of the key dates for the scholarship for baccalaureate and CTS, and specifically here we have dates for the spring quarter application. Once we have dates for the fall application, we will have it here. So please use this as your main guiding point if you are also excited to know the dates for the fall quarter dates for CTS. As you scroll further, we have CTS specific promotional resources available here, and then the baccalaureate promotional resources here. And then from here, I can take you guys over to the CTS application toolkit. So this is going to be the toolkit for applicants who are applying for the career and technical scholarship. They'll find an overview of, which is a summary of all the key information they need to know regarding eligibility in their application. Scholarship timeline, again, that is where they'll learn where we'll post all of the key deadlines and dates that students should be aware of. Eligible programs. I can click here just to show you guys how many programs there are. Oh, actually, it is a broken link. Let's fix that. So essentially, the eligible programs list we don't recommend printing because again, there are over 1,000 programs eligible for CTS. So we really just recommend using this document that we will have shortly available on our website after this webinar. For the eligible colleges, again, it's the 34 Washington State community and technical colleges, so they can look at the list of those colleges here. The median family income, again, I want to note that because this is for the current academic year, they need to be following the 2019-20 median family income for Washington State. They can also, this is the flow chart that Mesa was referring to. This will really help students understand whether they need to submit a transcript or not. So starting here, and they can follow the series of questions, and depending on if they answer yes or no, will lead them to what they need to submit as part of their application for CTS. And then lastly here, we have this personal information guide posted for students if they want to get ahead and just see what the questions are going to be. We have also provided sample answers just so it can help the students brainstorm a little bit, get an idea of what we are looking for. So this is another excellent resource that we really recommend students looking at if they would like to get started on that personal information section. So that is the CTS application toolkit. So I'm going to go back to the baccalaureate. So the baccalaureate application toolkit, very similar to the CTS where we have all these lined up with the scholarship timeline, which is again the key dates and deadlines that students need to be aware of. The majors over here. There are again over 150 majors, and they can access that. They can print this out just because it's not nearly as many as CTS, but they do have to be pursuing one of these eligible majors in order to be eligible to apply for the scholarship. And navigating back to the toolkit, on that same page, you can find the eligible list of colleges. Eligible list of colleges, and it is over 64 colleges and 4-year colleges and 2-year colleges in Washington State. The median family income, so again, students must meet the median family income depending on their household in order to be eligible. This is the 2020, so this is the most recent one because this scholarship is funding for the 2020-21 academic year. So just want to point that out, that the student is looking at the right MFI chart. And again, here for the transcript and GED scores, we have also created a flow chart for the baccalaureate to know what they need to submit, because we do have students who complete an alternative high school program, students who are homeschooled, students who are completing a GED. So hopefully this looks a little intimidating, but hopefully this will definitely clear up what official document they need to submit to us as an applicant. And then lastly, this is updated from last year. So this is the 2020 essay questions and guide. I want to note that the questions for the baccalaureate application is the same as last year. And so because we have this resource now, we are able to provide examples that were that received the maximum points last year at the very bottom of this. So we have example essays for students to review just to get an idea of what we are looking for. Also, we really highly recommend that students do follow the writing tip for this to really maximize their points for this essay. So this is a really great resource for students to reference as they start their essay piece. And that is the application toolkit. Do we have any questions? Yes, we do. Just one second. Oh, actually, no new questions. All right. I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint. Just one sec, we're having a bit of a technical difficulty with this.
So while Eileen is working to get this technology to work for us, I just want to highlight one last thing that I think we've kind of touched on but haven't said so explicitly, and has been one of the things that is obviously very confusing and we've been getting the most questions about, which is, but how does a student know which scholarship to apply for if they're either not entirely sure what credential they ultimately want to earn, or if maybe they're earning a credential at a community or technical college as part of their pathway for a bachelor's degree. And really the key question that you should be asking the applicant, or the applicant should be asking themselves, is if they are currently enrolled in a program at a community or technical college, do they hope to earn their bachelor degree soon after completing that credential? or do they hope to begin work? And if they hope to begin work, then they should apply for the Career and Technical Scholarship. And if they hope to earn their bachelor degree, they should apply for the Baccalaureate Scholarship.
So, sorry, Mesa just reminded me of one more important resource that I think would be really helpful for you or for the student that is applying. So on the main applicants page, and again, how I got here is I went to for students and then click for applicants. We have created another flowchart. We love flowcharts here at WSOS to help you really navigate and understand which scholarship a student should apply for depending on what their intent is. And as Mesa said, so right here, if a student does intend to earn an associate apprenticeship or certificate degree, if they say yes, and if they plan on earning their bachelor's degree immediately after earning their associate apprenticeship or certificate degree, they should apply for that baccalaureate scholarship. And if they don't intend on earning their bachelor's degree immediately after earning their associate apprenticeship or certificate program, they should definitely apply for CTS. So, and again, here, if they don't plan on intending at all on pursuing an associate degree, apprenticeship, or certificate, then they should apply for the baccalaureate scholarship. So I think this path, this flowchart would definitely help jumpstart the students, getting the student thinking about what it is that they should apply for. It really depends on what they intend to earn. All right, any questions? That's pretty much what we have for today. I am trying to get up our contact information if you guys don't have it already. Share that screen right now. So here you go. If you do have questions, please email us at awards@waopportunityscholarship.org. Otherwise, we are giving you back the 30 minutes of this hour that we had you reserved. I don't see any new questions that have popped up. Oh, actually. Oh, thank you so much. We're glad you enjoyed our presentation. Again, if you have any questions, please email us. This recording will be available on our website later this week. If you want to share this with a student, definitely we recommend that if they just want to get a better idea of the application as well. All right, thank you so much, everyone, and have a good day.